Hello everyone, my name is Arpandeep Singh and I study at BDS Public School Ajnara, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a mind map. So first of all, let's understand what a mind map is. Basically, by default, humans are visual learners. They remember the things that they have seen more than they remember something that is like in the text, alright? And by seen, I mean something that is colorful, something that is like an image rather than some black and white text on a textbook. So, if we try to learn from textbooks, we get bored, right? And it is unavoidable because we're just reading something that some other person has written in black and white, and it is not really some novel or something interesting that we are learning. So, we do eventually get bored. There's like literally no way around it. But you can, however, learn visually, right? So, yeah, it becomes harder to retain the knowledge that we learn over time because, yeah, you're okay. You might be fine with reading the textbooks, which you have to read at least once anyway. But then, after reading all those boring textbooks, you finally complete a chapter. But then you realize that within 2 3 days, within a week, within maybe 2 weeks, you start to forget what you had learned over there. You start to forget formulas, you start to forget the basic theory of what was happening in there, and yeah, we lose the knowledge because it is not something that is interesting again, and we start to lose the facts that were there. Okay, and once we start to revise, it starts taking even longer because then you have to open the textbook again and learn from that over and over until you have your exams. So, in this video, I'm gonna give you a one shot way with which you will be able to easily remember all your different formulas. So, it is called a mind map. In a mind map, first of all, you have to try to make it as colorful as possible. Use as many different colors as you can, okay? So, in the center, make a circle, and in this circle, you will write your title. Say it is, let's say, environment. Excuse my handwriting because I'm writing on a tablet and I'm not very used to it. And then you make it as colorful as you can and start like branching out. Yeah. You give out the points on these branches, these different branches. You have to make sure that you are using something colorful. So, because our brain, whenever we see something, we start to associate those colors with it, right? So, for example, in environment for the deforestation, or any other like subtopics, right? That are to be written in like these branches that are coming out. And further, you want to write like deforestation because of different things, right? Because of industries, because of humans, like for personal use, for something else, right? So you can further branch those out in industries like paper or furniture. And like this, you can further branch out all these topics, and in the end, it will become way easier to recall all those small little pointers because now you don't have to read the entire passage and the entire story. Like, if we read in the textbooks, we see like in 1997 there was this act, right? And then they start explaining the story. But because of this, you can simply remember the most important facts that there were. And this, you have to do the hard work one time. If you're making notes as well, then you will realize that notes are even longer than the textbook. You start to make notes, you will be making them even longer than what is given in the textbook. You will go into more detail, and it will take you way more time to recall everything. But with the mind map, it's just simple matter of some words that are over there and in a specific order, and like you take the main title in the center, you sub branch it to different topics and the classifications of that topic, and so on. So with this, it will become way easier to remember everything. So the mind map helps us to visually represent our knowledge. Another thing I forgot to mention is it is really important to make some visual effects in this mind map. Okay, so for example, draw some plants. If you're talking about plants, draw some plants or something, right? So that it is easier to visualize more. For example, if you have to remember the deforestation, you can remember this plant because it will come to your mind and it will become like something that you can associate that entire topic to. Second is it is easier to comprehend rather than having to see your entire notes, rather than having to find that specific topic and you have to read the entire passage over again in a difficult language that you have copied from the book, or you have to like read the passage from the book itself where it's a very difficult language that is being used. You can read your own mind map with those simple little single word mentions. Okay, don't write try not to write, actually I'd say try not to write any big passages over here. Just try to keep this to one word, two word thing. Okay, and it becomes easier and quick revision for whenever you have your exams. You don't have to open your entire copy and revise every little thing that was in there. Instead, you can just easily open your mind map. The entire chapter will be there on one page. It's not necessary to make it on one page, but try to make it on one page. You can go more in detail with mind maps as well. Another thing is the association technique. This is a very good memory method to associate something to another thing so that you can remember that another thing to remember the initial thing. In this, with the mind map, as I said, like you should draw something as well. So over here, like we drew a tree, and that can be associated to the deforestation. We could, draw an axe or something that could be associated to deforestation as well. And furthermore, like with this, you can associate everything to the others, and with that, it will become way more easier to remember everything. So that's it for today. I hope you find this helpful. I hope that you will bring mind maps into your studies, and I hope that they will help you remember your topics better. Thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.